By 1917, World War I had raged for 3 brutal years, leaving millions dead. The war had become a bloody stalemate, with trenches stretching across hundreds of miles. Neither side could gain the upper hand. But just when it seemed like the conflict might drag on forever, a game-changer arrived on the battlefield: the United States of America. What forced the US to break its neutrality and enter the war? How did its involvement turn the tide in favor of the Allies? Let's dive into one of the most pivotal moments of World War I. It all began with Germany's naval strategy, unrestricted submarine warfare. The German Kaiser's navy used deadly U-boats or submarines to attack any ship heading toward Britain or France. The goal? Starve the British into surrender by cutting off supplies. But on May 7, 1915, a German U-boat fired a single torpedo at the British luxury liner RMS Lusitania. Within 18 minutes, the ship plunged into the Atlantic, taking 1,198 people with it, including 128 American citizens. The American public was outraged, but President Woodrow Wilson refused to rush into war. Instead, he demanded Germany stop targeting neutral ships. Germany, realizing the risk of provoking the US, temporarily backed off, but it wouldn't last. While America remained neutral, Germany had other plans. In early 1917, British intelligence intercepted a shocking telegram from Germany's foreign minister, Arthur Zimmermann, to Mexico. The message? A secret deal. If the US declared war on Germany, Mexico should invade America. In return, Germany promised to help Mexico reclaim lost territories: Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. When Britain revealed this explosive secret to the US, the American public was furious. This wasn't just about war in Europe anymore. Now Germany was plotting against the United States itself. As tensions reached a breaking point, Germany made a bold and dangerous decision. It resumed unrestricted submarine warfare in February 1917. This meant any ship heading to Britain would be sunk, regardless of nationality. Within weeks, 4 American merchant ships were torpedoed and sunk. This was the final straw. On April 2, 1917, President Wilson addressed Congress stating, "The world must be made safe for democracy." 4 days later, on April 6, 1917, the United States officially declared war on Germany. But the United States wasn't ready for war. At the time, the U.S. Army only had 127,000 soldiers, a tiny force compared to the millions in European armies. To fix this, Congress passed the Selective Service Act in May 1917, forcing millions of young American men to register for the draft. In just a few months, the American Expeditionary Forces led by General John J. Pershing were being trained, armed, and shipped to Europe. But America's impact wasn't just on the battlefield. The U.S. also supplied the Allies with weapons, food, and fuel, strengthening Britain and France. The war was about to take a dramatic turn. By 1918, over 2 million American troops had landed in Europe. For Britain and France, who had endured years of brutal trench warfare, this was a turning point. The arrival of fresh, well-equipped American soldiers boosted morale. German forces, already exhausted, now faced an unstoppable new enemy. With America's help, the Allies launched the 100 Days Offensive, a massive counterattack that pushed Germany back. Germany's once powerful army was crumbling, supplies were running out, their allies were surrendering one by one. By November 1918, Germany was on the brink of collapse. On November 9, 1918, Kaiser Wilhelm II abdicated the throne, fleeing to the Netherlands. 2 days later, on November 11, 1918, Germany surrendered, bringing World War I to an end. The U.S. entry into World War I didn't just shift the war, it reshaped global power forever. Before the war, America was seen as a secondary power, but after World War I, the United States emerged as a dominant force in world affairs, setting the stage for the 20th century. However, the peace that followed was fragile. The Treaty of Versailles would plant the seeds for an even deadlier war: World War II. But how exactly did World War I end? And why did the Treaty of Versailles create more problems than solutions?